Hello and welcome to week 18, piece 35 of the Wall of Stitches Crochet Along. And for this piece we're using the V-puff stitch. So this is a really pretty stitch that creates V's of puff stitches that get worked up together and just interlock together. So to start this piece you're going to need a foundation chain of 67. So to start the V-puff stitch we're going to be making a double crochet in the 4th chain from our hook. Okay, so my turning chain is going to count as the first stitch of the row. So I'm going to put my stitch marker. So that's the stitch we've just done. And that was the end of the turning chain. So I'll mark that. And then for row 1, we're just going to make a double crochet in each stitch across. So I'm going to give this a bit of a solid foundation to work on. Just helps keep those puffs nicely in place. So double crochet in every stitch for row 1. So although this is a non-mercerized cotton, it doesn't really split that much, so it's really nice to work with. And I just love how bright and bold the colours in this range are. This paint box cotton is always a top choice for me. Right, so we're at the end of row 1 and double crochet in every stitch. So now we're going to turn and chain 1. And we're going to make a double crochet turning chain in the first stitch of the row. So this counts as the first stitch, so I'll pop a stitch marker in there. Okay, so row 2, we've got a turning chain, and then we're going to make a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3, so including your turning chain, you've got 4 stitches at this point. So now we're going to skip a stitch and then make a V-puff. So skip a stitch, I'm going to start making a puff into the stitch. So yarn over, hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook back into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook into the same stitch once more, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you're going to have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all loops, chain 1. Okay. After your chain 1, you're going to go back into the same stitch and make another puff. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and you do that 3 times until you have 7 loops on your hook, like so. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. So into that 1 stitch you're going to puff, chain 1 and puff, and together that's your V-puff. So to carry on with this stitch, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and in the next stitch we make another V-puff. And we do the exact same thing as we did before. Okay, so you want to make a puff that leaves 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all loops, chain 1. Yarn over, back into the same stitch, and then yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times until you have 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through all loops. So we're just going to get a series of V-puffs like this all the way across the row. And so you repeat across the row. When you finish your V-puff, skip the next 2 stitches and then make another V-puff. And you're going to continue that all the way across your row until you have 5 stitches left. So there's always a chain 1 in between each of your 2 puffs, your V puff, and then you continue again. So between each V puff, there's no other stitches. You go straight from one V puff to the next. So skip 2 and then make a V. This is going to be the last one of my row. I'll have 5 stitches left. So puff, chain 1, and then your second puff into the same stitch as you made your first. So this stitch is a yarn eater, but it's very pretty. Okay, so 5 stitches left. So I'm going to skip the next stitch, and then double crochet in the next, and then I'm going to make a double crochet in each of the last 3 stitches. So you'll start your row with 4 stitches, that's the turning chain plus 3 double crochet, and you'll end your row with 4 stitches. And my last stitch goes into the turning chain of the row below that we put our stitch marker in. Just easier to work into by taking that stitch marker out first, and double crochet to finish. And that's row 2. So row 3, we're going to turn, chain 1, and make a double crochet turning chain in the first stitch of the row. So if you don't like the way I do my turning chains, you can just chain 3, and it's up to you if you have that count as your first stitch of the row or you make a double crochet in that stitch as well. Okay, so after my double crochet turning chain, which counts as my first stitch, I'm going to make a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So again, we have 4 stitches to start the row. Just working on those we had in the row below. And then we're going to go into V puffs again. And we're going to make them into the chain 1 space of our V puffs in the row below. So yarn over into that chain 1 space and make your V puff. And we're making them the exact same way as we did in the row below. So finish your first puff, chain 1, back into the same chain space to make the second puff of your V puff. And they're just going to sit nestled, stacked on top of each other. So when you finish that V puff, you go straight into making the next one in the next chain space. Up into there, and again make the puffs. So you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull a loop 3 times, so you have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, then chain 1, and back into the same space to make another puff. And over, pull through all 7 loops, and move on to the next puff. And just keep going like this all the way across your row until you've worked into all the chain spaces in the middle of your V puffs in the row below. And my last one. 3, 7 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, chain 1, back into the same space, make that second puff to finish my V puff. And there we go. And there they are all nestled together. And then to finish the row, skip the puff, go to the double crochet and make a double crochet into it, and then double crochet into each of the last 3 stitches. So just as we did in the row below, we're going to finish the row with 4 double crochet in total. And that's row 3 of the V puff. To continue this stitch, you're going to be making a repeat of row 3. Okay. Now, if you want a matching top to your V-puff. So row 1 was just solid double crochet. Then we need to do a finishing row, so we can match the bottom. So to do that, and make your finishing row, you're going to turn, chain 1, make a double crochet turning chain in the first stitch of the, which I don't need a stitch marker because it's the finishing row, so I don't need to keep track of the first stitch. Okay, so I'm then going to make a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So these are the double crochet you ended row 3 with. Okay, so now we get to our V-puffs. So we're going to make a double crochet into the top of the first puff, make a double crochet into the chain 1 space, and then double crochet into the top of the second puff. So essentially we're just making a double crochet in every stitch across, and you continue that across them. A double crochet into the top of the puff, then into the chain 1 space, and then into the top of the puff. So your finishing row is all double crochet, and essentially into every single stitch. So into the top of the V-puff, first of the puffs, double crochet into the chain 1 space, and double crochet into the second puff. And just repeat that all the way across. Into the top of okay. Oops, that was into the chain 1 space. Try that one again. To go as there. So it's just making sure you just make 3 stitches into every V-puff. 1 into both the puffs, and then 1 into the chain 1 space. So after you've worked into your last puff, you then just work a double crochet into each of the double crochet stitches in the row below. So I'll just finish that. And then you get a nice even finish so it matches your first row. And that finishes off your V-puff stitch. So to complete your V-puff stitch, you're going to repeat row 3 until you have 6 rows. Then for row 7, you're going to make your finishing row and make those double crochet across the top. So once you finish row 7, you can cut off and weave in your ends, and then it's time to add your border. So for this piece, you're going to make a single crochet in every stitch across the top and bottom to give you 65 stitches across each edge. And then down the sides, you'll make 2 single crochet into the side of every row, and that gives you 14 stitches down the sides. Add your extra stitch in each corner for the turn, and then you can go ahead and add rounds 2 and 3 as well. Once you've finished round 3 of your border, you can cut off and weave in your ends, and then you're going to join this piece to last week's linked double crochet piece. So once you've done that, it's time to start our next piece for this week, which is the bobble flowers piece. I shall see you for that in the next video.